It was finally time for one of our biggest adventures yet, New York, to celebrate John's 40th. We flew from Glasgow to JFK via Heathrow, and anyone who knows me knows airports are not my calmest place. I'm always convinced we're going to miss our flight, so I end up speed walking to the gate while John just follows along. Thankfully, everything went smoothly and soon we were boarding our flight to New York. The flight flew by as we were so excited. After getting into Manhattan, we checked into the Hard Rock Hotel, which was perfectly located just a short walk from Times Square. Even after a long travel day, there was no chance we were going straight to bed. We dropped our bags, freshened up and headed out to explore. Seeing Times Square for the first time is hard to describe. We'd seen it so many times on TV, but being there in the middle of the crowds, lights, and just the energy is something else. We spent ages wandering around, taking it all in and trying not to look too much like tourists, although I'm pretty sure we failed. That evening we went to see Chicago on Broadway. Chicago is my all-time favourite musical, so seeing it in New York felt like a dream come true. It was honestly one of the highlights of my whole trip. We got a couple of drinks at the theatre to celebrate our first evening in New York, but we ended up paying $60 for just 2 drinks. Safe to say, that was a bit of a shock. We quickly realised New York wasn't going to be the cheapest holiday we'd ever had. After a very long first day, we headed back to the hotel, ready to explore properly the next morning. Day 1 started with one plan: we were heading to Top of the Rock. Unfortunately, New York had other ideas. The weather was poor and visibility was too low, so we rescheduled our tickets rather than waste the experience. Looking back, we're glad we did because it gave us a chance to change our plans and explore parts of the city that we hadn't originally planned to on day 1. Before heading downtown, we stopped at Grand Central Station. It's one of those places that you instantly recognise, and it feels even bigger in real life. We spent a while wandering around, admiring the ceiling and the architecture and just soaking up the atmosphere. From there we made our way to Rockefeller Centre before deciding Top of the Rock could wait for another day. Next up was our first experience of the New York subway. Coming from Glasgow, where our subway is a circle, I thought it would be much more confusing than it was. Once we worked out which train we needed, it was surprisingly easy and probably the quickest way to get around New York. We headed to the financial district to see a completely different side of Manhattan. The skyscrapers, Wall Street and busy streets gave the area a totally different feel from Times Square. From there we took the ferry over to Dumbo. The views on arrival are absolutely incredible, and it's easy to see why it's one of the most photographed spots in New York. After all that walking, we were ready for food, so we stopped at Time Out Market. There was absolutely loads of choice, and the rooftop views back towards Manhattan were absolutely stunning. Next we went to Getaways Chocolate, somewhere we'd heard so much about. We tried one of their famous hot chocolates. Honestly, we just didn't get the hype. Maybe we caught them on a bad day, but it was one of the things that didn't live up to our expectations. With our energy restored, we headed to one of New York's most iconic landmarks, the Brooklyn Bridge. Walking back across into Manhattan was one of our favourite moments of that first day. The skyline views are unbelievable and nothing really prepares you for seeing them in person. By then we'd walked what felt like a marathon, so we decided we'd earned a reward. We found a bar with happy hour, grabbed a couple of drinks and toasted John's birthday and an amazing first full day in New York. We'd already packed so much into less than 48 hours, but there was still plenty more to see. And if this was only the beginning, we couldn't wait for the rest of the trip.
New adventures passing by. one more flight.